Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today we will be continuing with planning with limiting factors, and we will technically, or we should probably complete planning with limiting factors by this video. And then the next video we will do exam kit questions from planning with limiting factors. Let us proceed. In the previous question, we did what is the feasible region? The question we did previously: A, B, C, D, and E. Just 1 second. A, B, C, D, and E. In out of this entire region is feasible region. There are how many corner points are there? A, B, C, D, E. 5 corner points are there. So either of one of these 5 corner points should be our points. That is how much of X to produce, how much of Y to produce. Either one of these points. Which one of these points is obviously a no? A no. A. A is definitely a no because we will not produce 0 units and 0 units. So A we can rule out. So it's either B, C, D and E. What we did in the previous case? We saw first we can't saw our ISO contribution line. To do an ISO contribution line, first we have maximum contribution. We put in equation no. Maximum contribution is equal to 4 into X plus 8 into Y. That is maximum contribution. So for that we will take a random number. 2000 or 3000 is divisible by both 4 and 8, a whole number. So for that we took 2000 or some random number we took and we found out. And we got one line. When we get 2 lines, when we get 2 points, we get one line. From that line, if you keep going up parallelly, whichever point it means the last, it will be the feasible point. Mostly it will be that corner point only. Without going up only, you can see. Without the scale, you can see C will be the most. There is another way to do it. There is another way to find which is the most feasible point. So what are the what are the 4 points in the feasible region? D, C, D and E. 4 points now. You will go one by one. B. What does the point B represent? Y is 600 and X is 0. So Y is 600. X is 0. Y is 600. That is what point B represents. What does point C represent? C is a combination of 2 lines. What are the lines? C, what are the 2 lines? Y is equal to this here we wrote here. Y is equal to 600. The second is 8x. 8x plus 10y is equal to 11,000. That integration 2 points. Y is equal to 600 line and department A line. 8x plus 10y is equal to 11,000. It represents these 2 lines. Intersection of these 2 lines. What does point D represent? No, what is the interest? 2 lines. What are the 2 lines? That is department C line and department A line. What is department C line? 12x, 12,000. What is department A line? 8x plus 10y is equal to 11,000. So if you see, point D is an intersection of 2 lines. Point C is an intersection of 2 lines. With point C, what are the 2 lines in point C? C 600 and 8x plus 10y is equal to 11,000. With that we found x and y now. What x and y we found out? 625. So 625 comma 600. X is 625. Y is equal to 600. We found out no. D is also an intersection of 2 lines. What are the 2 lines in D intersection? 6y is equal to 12,000. 8x plus 10y is equal to 11,000. Do you guys know how to calculate with using 2 equations? How do we calculate this question? Elimination. A common multiply by common thing. Multiply by common thing and do elimination and find out. Do and find out and tell me how much you are getting. Solve 2 equations. Find out and tell me how much you are getting. Point D. Point D is an intersection of which 2 lines? Point D is an intersection of which 2 lines? 12x plus 6y is equal to 12,000 and 8x plus 10y is equal to 11,000. Point is the intersection of these two lines. Understood or not? Only the feasible region. In feasible region, there are only 4 intersection lines. 5 points. That's how they mark A, B, C, D, and E. One second. What? 750, 500. You got it, which is 750? X is 750. Y is 500. You solve 2 equations, you'll get answer. How do we solve 2 equations, sir? Nothing wrong for all of you. You can go online and if you search, you will get how to solve quadratic equations. Please learn that. Very, very important for the subject. Please go online, go to YouTube, search how to solve 2 quadratic equations. You will get. Please learn that and come. You getting or not? Understood how to solve quadratic equations? Go home, go to YouTube, how to solve 2 quadratic equations. Solve 10 questions in that, very important. There are some basics, I'll tell you what to search, message me, I'll message you. How to solve 2 quadratic equations, learn that. Now it will be difficult, very easy. Once you learn, it will be very easy. You learn, you'll get 2 points. Others got or not? 750, 500, got or not? Okay, listen. Point E, what is point E? Point E. Not required. Point E is y is 0, x is 1000. There is no solving of 2 equations only. Point E directly is y is 0, x is 1000. Correct or not? Point E is direct point. You can substitute all this, it can same as only. But point E, there is no difference because point B also we didn't find anything. Point B, how we found out? Point B, directly we took 600, x is 0, y is 600. No, the point we directly have a point. Our ultimate objective is find a point. For point B and point E, we directly have a point. Understood? There's nothing that to calculate. But C and D, we don't know what is the point. We have to find the point. To find the point, we are solving 2 equations. D also, to find the point, we are solving 2 equations. But point B and point D, we already know the points. Point B is x is 0, y is 600. Point E is y is 0, x is 1000. So, point E is y is 0, x is 1000. So, it should be either of these, x is 1000 and y is 0. So, if you see, our best point should be either of these 4 points. We easily found out using iso contribution line. We went above and found. I will tell you another method to find. Understood or not? Tell me this. You do that later. Which of these points will you technically choose? Don't tell me the answer. Not the answer. On what basis will you choose which point to how many products to produce? Whichever gives us the maximum contribution. We have 4 points. In these 4 points, whichever gives us the maximum contribution is what we will take. If we take point B, what is x and point what is y? Point B, x is 0, y is 600. Always tell x first, y second. X is 0, y is 600. Substitute that in the maximum contribution line now. Maximum contribution is equal to 4x plus 8y. Substitute x and y and tell what is the contribution you are getting. Substitute this point in the maximum contribution line and tell me how much you are getting. 8 into 4 into 0 0, 8 into 6 are 4,800. So contribution we are getting is 4,800. Point C. What is the point? 625 and 600. Point C, 625 and 600. Substitute that and tell me what is the contribution we are getting. How much? 7,300 we are getting. Point D. Substitute point D and tell me how much you are getting. Point D. 7,000. 7,000. Last one is 1,000 into 4, 4,000. So what are my contributions you are getting? 4,800, 7,300, 7,000 and 4,000. Which is highest the contribution? So we will obviously choose point C. We can either through this method, we can do through this method also, or we can do through ISO contribution line also. We can find ISO contribution line, take it about, find the point also, or we can do like this also. You can do whatever method you want. You can do. Understood all of you? You will always remember two methods because in exam, in that fear, if you suddenly forget how to do ISO contribution line, you can use this method. Advisable to ISO contribution line. In exam, they will give ISO contribution line. Contribution line will be given. Now, what is our problem? You have to take it forward and find out. In case if you forget what to do using ISO contribution line, you can take all the 4 points and you can find out. Understood. How did we first arrive at A, B, C, D and D? No. How did we get that points? What are the points? That is a common shaded region. Anything above that, no. That round, that square is whatever shape this is, not square. Whatever shape this is, anything that A, B, C, D, E, anything outside that we will not be able to produce. It will be a constraint. Based on our constraints only, it should be less than that, it should be less than that, it should be less than that, and we found out this point. Anything above that will be a constraint, we will not be able to do only. Understood? That is what this line is all about. Understood thoroughly this question. Now, come down to test your understanding question number 2. Don't see anything other than what I tell you in the book because they are confused a lot. Come to test your understanding number 2. One question, the entire question they are given in 4 questions. Come to test your understanding question number 2. I will go through the question once. Okay. Then we will try to first arrive at equation. So, what is the process of doing the question? Maximum contribution we will find. Okay. Based on the constraint limiting factor, we will find equations. We will find equations. After that, that is the limiting factor. Equation is the limiting factor. Then what we will do? Put 0 for x, find y. Put 0 for y, find x for every line. For every equation, find 2 points. Only if you find 2 points, you can draw a line. Found out. Next, what we will do? Draw the graph. Then shade everything down. Which are the common shaded region? Common shaded region. Everything you will draw down now, which is commonly shaded by all the lines. Take that. Take the all 4 points. A will definitely not be the line. Something between other 3, 4. You can either do the big method or ISO contribution line will be given as the question. From there you go above. Whichever that point is there, that point you solve and find out. That will be your common point. But substitute that in the maximum contribution line. That is the maximum contribution you will get from the most optimal production. That is what the process. Now we will do this. Herbers Incorporation manufactures 2 items, summer houses and garden sheds. Each product passes through a cutting process and an assembly process. Now tell me, what are the 2 processes here? So like how department A, department B has, department C has was a constraint there or limiting factor there. Here the cutting process time or limiting assembly process time will be a constraint here or limiting factor here. One summer house which makes a contribution of $50 takes 6 hours cutting time and 4 hours assembly time. While one shed makes a contribution of $4, takes 3 hours cutting time and 8 hours assembly time. 36 cutting hours are available, 14 assembly hours are available, cutters are paid some amount, assembly hours are paid some amount, whatever. Leave everything. What is the maximum contribution like? 50x plus 40y. Before that, you have to tell me what does the X and what does the Y mean. What summer house? Correct only. Summer house product only. Number of units of summer house. X is number of units of summer house, and Y is number of garden sheds we are going to produce. So we are going to produce X number of summer houses and Y number of garden sheds. Understood? And each product has to go through cutting and assembling. Summer house will go through cutting and assembling. Garden shed will go through cutting and assembling. So maximum contribution line will be MC will be 50X plus 40Y. Next, what are the two equations, or how many other equations are there?
6x plus 3y is less than or equal to 36.
Correct.
4x plus 8y less than or equal to 40.
Correct.
That is number. And contribution.
That's it.
50x plus 40.
Conquer 50X plus 40Y. Nothing. However, they give you think logically. What are the two constraints? Tell me, what are the two limiting factors here? Cutting hours and assembly hours are limiting factor. So we have to see assembly hours in one and cutting hours in one. So summer house takes 6 hours of cutting time into X number of units you are going to produce, plus garden shed takes 3 hours of cutting time. So 3 into Y, the cutting time should be less than or equal to 36 hours. Understood? This takes 6 hours, this takes 3 hours. 6 hours into X number of units, 3 hours into Y number of units, total assembly time will be less than 36 hours. Understood? To put it on an easy way, listen to me. I am cutter. I am cutting man. I have 36 hours. I will cut shed, I will cut window. It's random two things. I will cut shed, I will cut window. How many sheds are we producing? Or how many windows are we producing? X windows. How many sheds are we producing? Y sheds. One takes 6 hours. One window takes 6 hours into X number of units, plus one shed takes 3 hours into Y number of units. Both together should be less than 36 hours. My time is only 36 hours. So 6x plus 3y should be less than or equal to 36 hours. And what is the second equation? 4x plus 8y should be less than or equal to 48 hours. These are the two equations. These are three equations we found out from this. So what are cutters are paid 10 per hour, assembly workers are paid 15 per hour, not required for a question. Did we anywhere use it in the previous question? We need only contribution. We need only limiting factor, nothing else is required. Understood? Understood these two equations. Maximum contribution line to always see from the perspective of limiting factor. Put all limiting factor together.
So
Cutting and cutting together, assembly together.
but including doors and you gave example. There are doors and sheds combined.
Correct only. Okay, we'll leave everything. We'll see a simple example. This is a simple example. Frying. We're making pizza or we're making French fries and gobi fry. French fries we're doing, gobi fry we're doing. We are producing 10 plates of French fries, 5 plates of gobi fry. It needs to go through oil frying, it needs to go through oven. 2 phases it needs to go. Both French fries and gobi should go to oil frying and should go to oven also. You tell me this. French fries take 10 minutes of oil frying, gobi takes 5 minutes of oil frying. French fries takes 10 minutes of oil frying, gobi takes 5 minutes of oil frying. So 10 minutes into oil frying into number of French fries plus 5 minutes of gobi frying into number of gobi will be a total oil frying time now. Suppose your oil frying time is only 5 hours. You can fry in oil only for 5 hours. 10 minutes of French fries into number of French fries we are going to produce plus 5 minutes of gobi into number of gobi we are going to produce should be less than or equal to 5 hours. So the oil time total is only 5 hours. So we are clubbing what? We are clubbing 2 point, but ultimate what is it? Common in everything. Common in everything is number of frying time, how much frying time is available. Cutting of something, number of cutting hours available. Assembly of something, number of assembly hours available. That is the equation. The previous question you see, what are the two products? No, X and Y. Product X and Y. Products X and Y. Department A, if you see, number of hours to Department A, number of hours for Department A of X, Department A of Y should be less than or equal to 11,000. Department B of X, Department B of Y should be less than or equal to 9,000. That Department A here is cutting time. That Department B here is assembly time. Understood? Club the limiting factor. Keep this in mind. If exam you get confused on what equation take, one equation should have one limiting factor. One equation should have one limiting factor. Product is product Y. Here product is summer house, garden shed. Summer house and garden shed is the product. The common thing you are taking. Assembly is Department A. Cutting time is Department B. Understood? 6 hours of assembly plus 3 hours of assembly should be less than or equal to 36. Cutting this should be less than or equal to 48. Understood, all of you? What the two equations are. Now, sir, in previous question, how many equations did we have? 4 equations. In this question, how many equations do we have? Leave the maximum contribution. Other than that, how many equations do we have? 2. Listen to me carefully. 99% this works, so you can do it blindly. When we have only 2 equations, directly solve the equation. Whatever X, whatever Y you are getting, that will be the answer. Nothing else you have to do. Whatever is X, whatever is Y, you are getting by solving the 2 equations, is your answer. Solve the 2 equations and tell me what X and what Y you are getting. Solve the 2 equations we found out and tell me what X and what Y we are getting. These 2 equations. Yes. X equal to? Okay. Any other answer? One person told X equal to 4, Y equal to 4. Any other answer? For all students who don't know to do quadratic equations, first write it equal to 6x plus 3y equal to 36, 4x plus 8y equal to 48. Solve these 2 equations. To solve these equations, go to YouTube, learn how to solve quadratic equations and then find out. Very easy. Do 5 to 10 questions and then get the answer. Got X equal to 4, Y equal to 4. Go home and try to solve. Go home and learn quadratic equation. Very easy. Okay. So listen, X equal to 4, Y equal to 4 we got. So directly we got the answer. What are the maximum contribution we will get? What are the maximum contribution we will get? We are producing 4 units of summer and 4 units of garden shed. What are the maximum contribution we will get? $360. Correct. 4 into 50 plus 4 into 40, 200 plus 160, 360 is the maximum contribution. Maximum contribution line we got no 50x plus 40y. Substitute X and Y will get the answer. Understood? What doubt? Leave the quadratic equation part that you will do later. We can learn now, then I will tell you later how to do it. But learn along the quadrant. Once you get the points, how to find the maximum contribution, how you see. Understood? Now come to, after you take your book, come down, leave everything, come down to illustration, test your understanding question number 5. Come down to tested understanding question number 5. Okay, ma. In that, if you see, they gave the graph. That's how we generally do it. If nothing is given, when we have two equations, how will we find out? How will we find out? If not for solving the equation, how will you find out? Graph. How will you do graph? First take the first line, put 0 for x, find y, put 0 for y, find x. Take the second equation, put 0 for x, find y, put 0 for y, find x, find 2 points. Once you find 2 points, you got 2 lines. That is what they have written here. That is what they have written here in tested understanding question number 5. They found 1 point here, 1 point here, they joined the one line. They found 1 point here, 1 point here, they joined this line and they got 1 point. ISO contribution line also they gave in the question. Like that they will give there also. ISO contribution line, if you keep taking forward, tell which point will it touch last. This point, this R or Q? Q only. So mostly it will be Q only. Q, what is Q? What is Q? 4x plus 8y is 48. It is the intersection of two lines. You have to solve the two lines and you will get the answer. That is what we did in the starting only. After finding 2 points intersection instead of finding out, we directly put a shortcut and found out when only 2 equations are given. When you solve the 2 equations, what point you are getting, that will be your feasible point. Understood? No, this question is done. Yes or no? Understood? Yes, all of you. Now come down to tested understanding question number 6. Come down to tested understanding question number 6. Okay. Come down to tested understanding question number 6. First tell me what are the two products. First you have to know what are the products, what are the limiting factors. What are the two products? Flat and sap. Flat trap and sap trap. 6. Tested understanding question number 6. The two products are flat trap and sap trap. What and all we need in order to do a question like this? Go analyze keep the first question in mind. Visualize the first question in mind. Keeping that in mind, what and all we needed in order to find what all we need in the question. No, not the answer part. Question what is required in order for you to find the answer. First, limiting factors should be given to us. Number of hours of everything should be given to us. The product should be given to us. Contribution of both the products should be given to us. How much hours it takes of each product should be given to us. Limiting factor total hours also we need. How much hours it needs also we need. First, are two products given to us? Are two products given to us? Yes or no? Our limiting factor total number of hours required given to us. Total number of hours we have given to us. Where? Exactly. Skilled labor is 2000 hours, limited to 2000 hours. Unskilled labor, semi-skilled labor limited to 2500 hours. Maximum demand for two products is given to us. Correct or not? So that we have. Do we have contribution? Huh? For? How do you find contribution? Huh? How do you find contribution per unit? What is the no? Okay, first, how do we okay? Look at me. We'll go slowly. Always try to visualize from behind, from basics. That's why I'm taking my basics. Listen to me. How do you find contribution? Sales minus variable costs. What are the 4 variable costs I told you will be there? Direct material, labor, direct expenses, variable overheads. Is direct material given to us? Yes. How much? 6 and 4 is the amount or kgs? 6 and 4 is the amount or kgs? Kgs, sir, they are clearly given raw material bracket kgs. So what is the raw material cost of flag trap? 6 kgs into 5 rupees per kg, 30. For sap, 4 into 5 rupees per kg, 20. Is direct labor given to us? What are the two labors? Skilled and semi-skilled. Is that the amount or what is it? Hours. They clearly gave it as labor hours. It is not amount. So 10 into 3, 30. 10 into 3, 30. 5 into 3, 15. 25 into 3, 75. So this is labor cost. Is direct expense given to us? Is direct expense given to us? No. Is variable overhead given to us? Where? Clearly they don't fix the overhead. That is also, that's why we come from starting, we'll remember everything. We don't make any mistake in exam. So 4, these are the 4 variable costs. In that we have only direct material and direct labor. So selling price minus direct material minus direct labor should give you contribution. Now tell me what is the contribution you are getting? What is the contribution you are getting? 60, 65, 65, 50. You shouldn't tell me. We need contribution into the products. So what do we want? And correct. 125 minus 30 minus 30 minus 15. 165 minus 20 minus 30 minus 75. So contribution getting is 50 and 40. All of you got that? Yes or no? Who is stuck anywhere? I think selling price minus direct material minus skilled labor minus skilled and semi-skilled, both the labor only, both the direct labor. So minus selling price minus raw material cost minus skilled labor cost minus semi-skilled labor cost, you will get 50 and 40. Understood all of you? Huh? Okay, first line we got. So what is the maximum contribution line? Maximum contribution line 50x plus 40y. So first line is done. Maximum contribution line is 50x plus 40y. First line is done. Next to what we need? Find equations. What are the limiting factors given to us? Skilled labor 2000 hours, semi-skilled labor 500 hours, demand for flag trap, demand for sap trap. In first case when you had y less than equal to 600, no. Like that they gave for both x and y. Understood? Now we'll go one by one. First skilled labor. What is skilled labor? For skilled labor line equation, put all skilled labor together. How many hours of flag trap is required? Skilled labor 30 hours. That is the cost. 10 hours into x number of units plus 10 hours into y number of units should be less than or equal to 2000. 10x plus 10y should be less than or equal to 2000. What is the second equation? 5x plus 25y should be less than or equal to 2500. How many number of x units we have to manufacture? 150. Maximum should maximum 150. So x should be less than or equal to 150. How many number of y units you have to manufacture? 80. So maximum number of y units should be less than or equal to 80. So what are the 4 equations we got? MC is equal to 50x plus 40y. Always don't tell that equation as the equation. That is maximum contribution separately. What are the 4 equations we got? 2000. Less than or equal to 80. Understood all of you? Yes or no? Now what do we do generally? We have 2 equations, no problem, but we have more equations. 0 for x, find y, 0 for y, find x. For second equation, you do the same thing, and then I will tell you what to do. Do that. 4. For each equation, substitute 0 for x, find y, substitute 0 for y, find x. put equal to 2000. X is 0, then y. What? We can do. We have 4 equations here. Here 4. 10x plus 10y less than 2000. 5x plus 25y less than 2500. X is less than or equal to 150. Y is less than or equal to 80. Only 2 was there. So we had it. Yes. Y is equal to 200. If x is 0, then y is equal to 2000. Y is equal to 200. If y is 0, then x is equal to 2000. X is equal to 200. So x is equal to 200. Y is equal to this point will be x is 0, y 200. This point will be y is 0, x is 200. This first 2 points. For second equation, 5x plus 25y equal to 2500. If x is 0, 25y is equal to 2500, y will be equal to 100. So if x is 0, y will be equal to 100. And if y is 0, 5x is equal to 2500, x will be equal to 500. If y is 0, x will be equal to 500. X is 500, comma 0. So you see the two. Totally 4 points you will get. For first equation we get 2 points. For second equation we get 2 points. Understood or not? Yes. What are the 2 points you got for the first equation? 200 and comma 0. For second equation, first we will draw a rough graph. We will draw a rough graph and we will try to do. Draw a rough graph. First x is 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. First x is 0, y is 200. Where it will come? In y. So mark 200 in y axis. Y is 0, x is 200. Mark 200 in x axis. Understood? And draw one line. Second, x is 0, y is 100. Y is 0, x is 500. So it will be like this. Okay. Huh? Now, what is the third equation we have? X is equal to less than equal to 150. X is 150 means go to x, mark a point 150 and draw a line parallel to x. Like this. X is 150 no. X is 150 down. Update from above to down. X is 150. And y is equal to 80. Y is equal to 80 means update draw a line like this. Got it? Super. Now to see the graph, to have a rough idea of the graph, go to your answers and go to test and question number 6 graph. Go to your answers and go to test and understanding question number 6 answer. When done, come to point number C now. Come to point number C, which shows a better understanding of the graph. Come to point number C. Got came up point number C. Graph is given on point number C. So if you see what is the feasible region C and tell me. Leave the 0. So A, B, C, D, E and 0. Leave that. Within that only it should be there. Or it's less than no. So within that it should be there. So normally we draw an isocontribution line. We go above. We find the point. So it's either A, B, C, D and E. We can do using 2 things. Isocontribution line go forward. Whichever the point C is touching, whichever point the line is touching last, that will be our point. Okay. If not for that, for A, B, C, D and E, take which point it represents, substitute, whichever gives us the maximum contribution, take that point, but it is technically advisable to do using iso contribution line only. Technically advisable to do using iso contribution line only. The point should technically be point D. The line is like this, you know. You take your scale and you try, no? Line is like this. Every if you keep going forward, it will not be C, it will be D. D. And line is like this. Line is like this. Line is from standing like this. Now it will go like this. Line is like this. So it goes forward. The last point will touches point D. So point D is the combination of what two lines? Point D is the combination of x is equal to 150 and 10x plus 10y is equal to 2000. Solve that, you will get x and y. Substitute that in the equation, you will get a maximum contribution. Understood, all of you? I will give you 10 minutes time. Please, you can see the graph. Do using both methods. Not both methods. Find point D and find x and y. Point D and find x and y. That will be, and find the maximum contribution. Please do it fast. Once you do, we will go to proceed to question number 7. Okay. In tested understanding, question number 7. Similar question, but slightly different. It's not same as above. Similar, but slightly different. First, before proceeding to the question, take your time and tell me. Always remember, 3 products will not be given to us. Limiting factor might be anything, but products will always be number 2. Now, 3 products will be very difficult. It's very difficult to find out. 3 products will never be given to us. It will always be 2 products and various limiting factors. In this question, what are the 2 products? Look at the question and tell me. X and Y. 2 types of fertilizers we want, which consists of type X and type Y fertilizers. X and Y are the 2 types of products. Limiting factors. 8x plus 3y. 100. Okay. Okay. So it's absolutely wrong. 18x plus 3y less than or equal to 100, 5x plus 2y less than or equal to 50, 2x plus 5y less than or equal to 40. It will be correct provided if that is what is the wording given in the question. 2 things are wrong here. Listen to me. 2 things are wrong here. First, the numbers which are given to us are percentage of chemicals. They want to buy 2 types of fertilizers which contain the following percentage of chemicals. This is 18%. This is 2%, this is 5%, this is 2%, this is 2%, this is 5%. So this will be 0.18, 0.03, 0.05, 0.02, 0.02 and 0.05. That is the first mistake. Second, see down and say, for a certain crop, the following minimum quantities are required. They give 100, 50 and 40. What does that mean? kg. What does that mean? The minimum need 100. All this while we were seeing maximum how much we had. Maximum we had 11,000 hours. Maximum demand is 10,000 hours. So what did we put there? There we put less than equal to. Here we have to put it should be greater than equal to 100 kg. So 0.8x plus 0.03 should be greater than equal to 80. Greater than equal to 100. 0.05x plus 0.02y should be greater than or equal to 50. And 0.02x plus 0.05x should be greater than or equal to 40. These are the 3 equations. This is not a limiting factor question. Why they given the limiting factor chapter, sir? Because similar ways to do the answer. How we did a process for limiting factor, similar process we will use. That is why they put this question here. It is actually not a limiting factor. You see and tell, is there anything limiting factor here? Nothing is limiting factor here. They told minimum how much you have to use. So we have unlimited. Minimum how much you have to use, they have told. So there is nothing limiting factor. This question is about how much of x and how much of y we have to produce or procure or whatever to get minimum cost. Minimum cost. To find the minimum cost also we will do the same method. So you have to remember 2 things. In exam, if they ask us, if they give us a limiting factor question, we will do the process and find number of x and number of y to produce. Minimum cost question they ask also, same method only we will use, slight changes. Understood? This is a minimum cost question. So 0.18 0.18x plus 0.03y should be more than or equal to 100. 0.05x plus 0.02y should be more than or equal to 50. Is that right? The other I give equation also, no? 0.08x plus 0.03y should be more than or equal to 100. 0.05x plus 0.02y should be more than or equal to 50, and 0.02x plus 0.05y should be more than or equal to 40. At 18 plus 3 we will write horizontally. Instead of 18 we will write 0.18x plus 0.03y because these are percentages which is given to us. Okay, done now. What are you writing? You found 3 equations. Here, generally for our question, limiting factor question, what and all we require? In the question, what we need? Limiting, no, consider different chapter. By mistake I told. Limiting factor. We need limiting factors, total, contribution, and we need limiting factor for every hour. How much hours of labor we need, that we need. But here, contribution and all we not need, sir. There our objective is to find the maximum contribution. Here our objective is to find the minimum cost. Our objective is to find the minimum cost. So what we will do, we need the cost. Cost will be given to us. Same as previous questions we will do. First for the 3 equations, first I'll explain the answer. Open answer test and understanding question number 7. No? Open test and understanding question number 7. Answer. Open the answer. Come to point B. So point A, we found out the 3 lines are. Point A, we found out the 3 lines. Then what we have to do? For x put 0, find y. For y put 0, find x. Same as above. So we get for 3 equations, we get xy. Like that we get 4, 2 points. 6. 2. We'll get more. Okay. Go mark that in a graph. Come below, no to graph. Mark that in a graph, you get the various graphs. Leave the shaded part. Mark that in a graph. We have 3 lines, look. 1 line, 2 lines, and we have 3 lines here. We marked it in the graph and we technically have 3 lines here, like how we normally do. Leave the shaded region, I'll tell you what to do. Sir, in our previous cases, listen to me. If you have 3 lines, it will generally be less than or equal to. So lesser we will mark and common shaded region we will mark. Here it is more than or equal to. So above, we mark it outside. So we mark it outside, the feasible region will be the shaded area. Everything will go full out. So everything will go full out. All lines will go full out. This will go full out. So feasible region will be the shaded region. Understood? In that, which are the 4 corner points you have to find out. You see A is 1 corner point, B is 1 corner point, C is 1 corner point, and D is 1 corner point. Above that we don't have points. It may be unlimited. Above that will be unlimited. But these 4 are the common points. Understood or not, all of you? Yes or no? Understood 4 common points. 2 things you can do. For all the 4 points, you can find what are the 4 points, and then you can find which is the minimum cost you can find. Cost is what? Given to us? 10 and 5. 10 and 5 is given below. The question is given below. Cost is given below. 10 rupees for per kg of x and 5 rupees for per kg of y. Substitute. And earlier we had maximum contribution is equal to 10x plus 5y. Will write no. Same thing. Total cost is equal to 10x plus 5y. There it has to be maximum. Here you have to see which are the 4 points give us the minimum cost we have to see. Understood all of you? Yes or no? You can do the two methods. First method is every point you find out what that point represents. Substitute in the equation, find out which gives a minimum cost. Second method, same ISO contribution we will draw now. Same thing we will do. Earlier, listen to me, always ISO contribution line should be within the feasible region. Previous questions, feasible region was down. ISO contribution was down. Here feasible region is above. So ISO contribution should be in the feasible region. According to that, you take one number and find the ISO contribution line. Okay, listen to me. Earlier from down, we will go above. Here from above, we will go down, and whichever point it touches the last, that will be our point. Earlier ISO contribution line will be within the feasible region. We will go above whichever point it touches, that will be the point. Here ISO contribution line will be above. Have to come down, whichever point it touches the last, that will be a point. In this point will be C. Understood? And solve for C and you'll get the answer. Or you can do either that or A, B, C and D. For all these 4 points, find out the points, which is what the 4 points represent. Substitute in the total cost line, whichever gives us the minimum cost, that will be an answer. Understood all of you? This is the result of this question. I'll give you 10 minutes time to do this question. First, do the question as usual we do. Try to do it using ISO contribution line first. Take the contribution, that maximum contribution of 20,000 rupees, and then do. Take it as 20,000 and do. I will tell you why we are taking 20,000 also. You take 20,000 and do, and then we will do the second method also we will do. But first you do this, and then we can proceed to the next question, next concept. Question is done. Next you can proceed to next concept only. Understood this question all of you? Next understanding question number 7. Now listen to me. I think you go home, do all the 3 questions twice. You have to draw the graph. At every point in graph you have to find out. Assume that you are drawing a graph. You just have to see the book and then find out the points and find out the answer. Graph we need not draw because graph will be given in the exam. Now we will move to another concept. We are going to see a new concept now. We are going to see a new concept now called as shadow price and slack. Before knowing shadow price and slack, we have few constraints here now, or limiting factors. In first question, what was the constraint? First question we did. Without seeing it, without seeing you don't get it. Try to recall. We've been doing this for a long time. Total numbers. 11,000 something. Department A, B and C. Department A, B and C are the constraint. The second question. Cutting assembly time was a constraint. Third question. Oh, that's it, huh? We did one more question. No, we did one more question. Nitrate, potassium, and something else was a constraint. There was constraint, huh? That was what? That is minimum cost. That is minimum cost. That was a constraint. Minimum cost. To find a minimum cost, we did that. So you have to recall the questions for that. The questions we study, you have to be 100% thorough and full confidence. It should be fingertips so that a new question comes, you will be able to recall this question and tell. Now, we'll take first question. We had few constraints now. Everything is a constraint. Anything which is less than something will be a constraint. Constraints are classified into 2. The first question we had Department A, Department B and Department C. We had less number of hours. We had 11,000 hours, some thousand hours, some thousand hours. That is a constraint. We are doing that much hours. Within that you have to manufacture. But constraints are classified into 2, called as critical constraints and non-critical constraints. To know that, you just come down, come to illustration number 2. Shadow price and slack one heading will be there. Below that there is something called as illustration number 2. Come down, come to that point. Okay, ma. So if you see the first illustration we did, they've again given to us. Shadow price and slack one heading will be there under that illustration number 2. The first illustration we did, they given us again. What was our point there? What was our most optimal point in illustration number 1? And 600. X is 625, Y 600. We will try to substitute that in every equation. Substitute that in Department A, the equation. Substitute 625 and 600 and Department A's equation. Substitute 625 and 600 in Department A's equation. 8x plus 10y is equal to 11,000. In that equation, substitute 625 and 600 and tell what you are getting. 11,000 we are getting exactly. Yes or no? Substitute in Department B's equation. Leave Department A. Substitute in Department B's equation. Substitute 625 and 600 in Department B. How much are you getting? 8,500. Substitute in Department C's equation. Tell. 11,100. and the last y is equal less than or 600. How much are we producing? What is the answer? So y is less than or equal 600. So currently we are producing 600 of y. That is also correct. 600 of y we are producing. Now you tell me, what is the y equation? How many lines? Department A correctly we are using or less we are using? We have 11,000 hours. We are using 11,000 hours. Department A. Department B, you don't have to write that. Department B, we have 9,000 hours, but we are using only 8,500 hours. Department C, we are having 12,000 hours, we are using only 11,800 hours. It is possible. We can't exactly use every of department. Suppose we have something now, we can't exactly use exactly what time is available. Department A correctly 11,000 hours we use. Department B and Department C used only 8,500 and 11,800 hours. No. So Department A is a constraint. Department B is also a constraint. Department C is also a constraint. Department A is a critical constraint because we don't have even 1 hour extra in Department A. It is a critical constraint. Department B is a non-critical constraint. Department C is a non-critical constraint. So in non-critical constraints, that is in departments where we have extra hours available, we have 9,000, we use only 8,500. We have 12,000, we use only 11,800. In these departments, we will have something called as slack. Slack. What is the slack time in Department B? 500. We have 9,000, we've used only 8,500 hours. 500 hours is slack, we have not used it. Department C, what is the slack? 11,800, you told, no? 11,100, okay, 11,100. That means it will be 900 hours will be our slack time. Come down and see, that is what they've given. Department A, we'll go through everything. Look, we can therefore say that, come to previous page. We can therefore say that Department A is a critical constraint with no slack. So critical constraint, there will not be any slack. Product Y, find Y should be less than or equal to 600. We currently produce 600. Product Y is a critical constraint with no slack. Department A, actual time used was 8,500. Maximum time was 9,000. Slack is 8,500 hours. Sorry, 500 hours. Department C, time used is 11,100. Amount of time available is 12,000. So 900 is slack. That's what they've given here. Understood. This is what you have to learn with respect to shadow price. Slack. This is called as slack. Understood, all of you? Now we will move on to our next concept called as shadow price. Now we will move on to the next concept called as shadow price. Further, come to tested understanding question number 8. With that, we will close today's class. We will do more detailed, more example questions in the next class. Next class, we will do only example questions. But before that, your homework for today is I want all of you to do all the questions we did today 2 times and come the next class. Don't start, sir. I will not even accept anything from that. What no time? Tomorrow also you have class at 1:30. Saturday you have no class, no. So do it once and come. Once without once, don't even come. Once mandatory you have to do it once and come. We'll have more homework from Monday, but once all questions whichever is done, you have to do it once and come. Draw rough graph and do it once and come in your notebook. Very, very, very important. You have to know this thoroughly. That's when we can do exam question. Okay. Now, tested understanding question number 8 you come now. X is equal to 4, Y is equal to 4 we found out. We found out in the previous question. We found out optimal contribution got 3,600, maximum contribution. So, intersection of those 2 lines only was our equation. No. Intersection of these 2 lines was our point. We didn't know in the question. We directly took 2 equations, but only 2 equations was there. Intersection of these 2 lines was our point. So the 2 lines they gave us. They're asking something called as shadow price. In exam, they'll ask something called as shadow price. I will tell you what it means. Listen to me carefully. Shadow price is nothing but first, one will be a critical constraint, one will not be critical constraint. How much you are producing? 4 units of X and 4 units of Y you are producing. In cutting and assembling, tell which is the critical constraint, which is the non-critical constraint. Both are critical. 6 4 are 24 plus 3 y's are 3 4 12, 36, 4 4s are 16, 4 8s are 32, 4 4s are 16, 32. Both are critical constraints. Generally, shadow price will be there only for critical constraints. Slack will be there for non-critical constraints. Shadow price will be there for critical constraint. We will take one critical constraint for now. I'll tell you what shadow price means. Slack we will have for non-critical constraints. Shadow we will have for critical constraints. In 2 minutes, you understand what shadow price means. Both the critical constraints are there. Only one critical constraint will be there. Both also no problem. We will take one by one. First, we will take cutting. Cutting is critical constraint. What shadow price means is how much so if we get one extra cutting time now, we'll be able to get some extra contribution. And that is critical constraint here. If we get one extra cutting time, we will be able to get some extra contribution. They're asking how much maximum extra we will be ready to pay if you get one extra hour of cutting. Shadow price is nothing but how much maximum extra you will be ready to pay if you get one extra time of cutting. I will tell you how to find out. Leave this question, then I will tell you. Suppose in my restaurant we are producing pizzas. One extra chef time if we get, we can write later. One extra, we can write later. One extra chef time, if chef time is critical constraint. One extra chef time if we get, how much extra contribution we can get from the chef time we have to see. One extra chef time if we get, how much extra contribution we will get from that we have to see. That much extra amount we will be ready to pay for chef. Suppose chef is currently coming now. Answer to me. Chef is currently coming, working for 40 hours. We are getting a contribution of 2000 rupees. Chef is working for 40 hours. Our total contribution is 2000 rupees. If chef comes for 41 hours, extra contribution we are getting is 2030. Chef is coming for 40 hours means we are getting a contribution of 2000. If chef is coming for 41 hours, we are getting a contribution of 2030. What extra contribution you are getting? So the 30 rupees I will be ready to pay to the chef extra. I will not do anything. The 30 rupees maximum extra amount I will be ready to pay other than his salary will be 30 rupees. The 30 rupees shadow price. How much extra you will be ready to pay for that extra contribution. For that, what we have to do? How much contribution we got from earlier? 360. With what energy we got 360 now. Now what we have to do? Cutting how much time is that? 36 hours. We have to assume now cutting we got 1 hour extra. How much we will have? So 6x plus 3y will be equal to 37. 4x plus 8y is equal to 48. What equation we have to take here is? First we have to take which are the critical constraint. Second, the optimum point is there no. The optimum points equation we have to take. Okay, so 6x plus 3y is equal to 37. 4x plus 8y is equal to 40. Don't worry, we will do a lot of questions on shadow price and slack tomorrow. We have an exam with a lot of questions. We will do, you will understand that. Now also you will understand, don't worry. 6x plus 3y is equal to 37. 1 hour extra. 4x plus 8y is equal to 48. Solve these two equations and tell me how much of x and how much of y you are getting. Solve these two equations and tell me how much of x and how much of y we are getting. 6x plus 3y is equal to 37. 4x plus 8y is equal to 48. Solve these two equations and tell me how much of x and how much of y we are getting. It will come in points. Take 2 decimal points. How much of x and how much of y we are getting. Solving equations, today you see a video. The message on WhatsApp I'll forget. I'll send you a video. You can go watch that video. much? Take 2 decimals, 4.22. Why? 3.88. 89. 3.89. Okay. Go and substitute this in your maximum contribution line. What is the maximum contribution line? 50 and 40, no? Maximum contribution we got earlier from that question is 50x plus 40y. Substitution, tell me how much contribution you are getting. Substitute x and y and tell me how much contribution we are getting. $366.67 you're getting up. 366 no. 366.6 only will take. 366.6 you're getting all of you. Huh? Getting or not? Listen. First listen. 363. What is x and y you got?
3.88 and not 3.89.
Okay. 4.22. You substitute that, what are you getting? 366 are. I'll tell you how much you should get. 3.888, 4.222 if you should get 366.67. Correct. Some miscalculation mistake. 366.67 ah. Listen. How much contribution earlier getting? 360. How much contribution getting now? 366.67. How much extra we are getting? 6.67, not 66. 6.67 extra getting. So we will be ready to pay to get one cutting time extra. We will be ready to pay extra 6.67. We will be ready to pay extra 6.67. The 6.67 is our shadow price. Understood all of you? The 6.67 is our shadow price. That is how much extra we will be ready to pay. We have a lot of exam questions on shadow price, slack, and limiting factor that we will do tomorrow. And that, but revise whatever is done today thoroughly and come. This is what shadow price is all about. Understood? That's all for today. I'll see you guys in another video.